Kemi Badenoch has suggested all 6 Tory leadership candidates could get jobs in her shadow cabinet. I'm going to read into this more from Sky News, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from Sky News with the headline that Kemi Badenoch suggested all 6 Tory leadership candidates could get jobs in her shadow cabinet. The shadow housing secretary tells the politics hub with Sophy Ridge that she is no wallflower and that our ultimate ambition is to make the country more conservative. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share it across social media so others are notified of this video. This is so... Part of me is laughing at thinking about this because they are all literally the same people that were in government before, and they think that people forget. They think they forget about what happened the last 14 years. That they think they can just kind of, try to claim that they did well and they were great and all this kind of stuff. And it's just like, no, you guys were terrible. You guys are terrible, and you're the exact same lot that want to get back in. The exact same lot. And I hear what people are saying about Labour. I get it, and I get it. But really, after 14 years of them, 14 years, and you think that they are worse than Labour, and we've only just had 100+ days, and you think, wake up. Like, seriously, wake up. If you generally think that. Like, if the Conservatives, in all seriousness, if they were generally serious about getting back into power, what they would do is bring in a new, fresh shadow cabinet. New, fresh body with new people and new ideas. But I think, part of me feels that they're just happy to sit on the sidelines and just swipe at the Labour government. Because the general consensus is that they feel that, I think within them, they know that they're not going to get into power the next general election. That's what I think. And I'm not looking forward, if Kemi does end up becoming the Conservative leader, whether it's her or Robert Jenrick, I'm not looking forward to Prime Minister's questions. And I think some of them could be highly embarrassing. And there will be times where obviously they will take advantage of certain stories and situations, and they definitely will. But there'll be times where I will look at Kemi and just think, like, what the hell's wrong with you? And the thing is like that she says some really controversial things. Like, I want to put this out there to any women out there. Would you like your maternity pay taken away from you or reduced? If you're somebody who is a mother, because that's what Kemi wants to do. Wants to take your maternity pay away. Are you somebody that wants taxes cut, but wants less public service? Because that's what you'll get with Kemi. You will get the absolute horror show of Kemi Badenoch if she ever, dare I say, ever becomes Prime Minister. And I hope that she never, ever gets any kind of power whatsoever. It's bad enough that she could be the next Conservative leader. It's even worse that she's just going to get the same people in the same spots, roughly. I mean, she may shuffle them a couple of bits, but... yeah, it's just pretty embarrassing. I would be surprised if Tom Tugendhat got in the shadow cabinet, but because Tom Tugendhat's more centre right rather than extreme right than some of them in there, if I'm honest. So she has suggested that she will offer all 6 candidates in the Tory leadership race a job in the shadow cabinet if she's elected leader. The Tory leadership hopeful, who is competing against Robert Jenrick to become the next head of the Tory party, said she did not know if they would like the roles that she would give them, and that she has not yet made them any offers. The current shadow housing secretary, who serves as business secretary when the Conservatives were in power, dodged questions over whether she wanted to be Prime Minister, saying her ultimate ambition was to make country more conservative, to deliver better growth and a better life for everyone. Well, she did a great job of that, didn't she? I certainly feel better off. My friends and family certainly feel better off, don't they? I think it's not a reward. It's not like winning a competition. It's actually a very serious job that requires a lot of sacrifice. Yeah, something that you don't know anything much about sacrifice. You should try that sometime. Acknowledging the potential downsides of the jobs, including the toll it could take on her family life, Ms Badenoch said the role of the Prime Minister changes your life forever. It changes the life of your family. So I'm very, very wary of saying that, well, I want to be Prime Minister. She added, I'm very well aware of how life could change for the worse in many circumstances, but also worry even more about the direction of the country and what will happen unless we can turn things around. Ms Badenoch is widely seen as a favourite to succeed Rishi Sunak as Conservative leader, following the party's worst ever general election result in July. And by the way, she's not very clear about her sort of policies, about what she's going to do to make people better. She there's a lot of rhetoric, but there's no like actual policies coming out of her. Like, she's not giving you certain policies that she will do. So a lot of talk, a lot of rhetoric, but nothing clear cut about what she's going to offer to the British public. That's another thing as well. The race between herself and Mr. Jenrick, a former immigration minister, has become increasingly criminalous after her opponent claimed that the party would die under her leadership. I think it's not doing that well anyway, if I'm honest. And then I say that, and they've won a few council elections, so. It came after Miss Badenoch launched an attack on Miss Jenrick's integrity, suggesting she was a better fit for the top job, as she had never been sacked because of a whiff or impropriety. The comments made to the Telegraph newspaper appeared to be a dig at Mr. Jenrick's involvement in a planning dispute when he was Housing Secretary in 2020, a position he was later sacked from by Boris Johnson. However, Miss Badenoch was challenged about her own integrity after she admitted that she had hacked the website of Baroness Harley Harmson in 2008, adding a picture of the former Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Yeah, I mean, she apologised. It was like, yeah, I was just playing around. It was that kind of stuff. Yeah, you hacked into someone's account and you think it's okay. Miss Badenoch responded by telling Ridge that she acknowledged she had committed a summary offensive akin to a speeding ticket and that I do like playing pranks. I have humour. The former minister admitted that while she was very amusing at that time, before she was an MP herself, now that she was in Parliament, she has seen the hassle MPs receive. Giving insight into her character, Miss Badenoch says she was no wallflower and described herself as blunt, forthright and confident. No other words to describe her. She also addressed some of the negative stereotyping she had received, including accusations she was aggressive as well as lazy. Lazy definitely something comes across to mind when I think about her. But she said she wanted to avoid making accusations of racism and misogyny because she wanted to believe the best in everybody. Looking ahead to this week's budget, where the state of the country's public service will dominate the conversation, Ms Badenoch said she does not believe the UK was earning enough for the public service that the country wants. Right now, we're paying more on debt interest than we're spending on defence, she said. We're not earning enough in order to cover the costs, and we need to rewrite the state of the system in order to deliver what people want. Regarding the funding in the NHS, she said everything should be on the table for discussion. She also highlighted some recent policies floated by the Labour government, including a ban on smoking in pub gardens and plans for a football regulator, with previous Tory government kickstart plans for the latter. Who cares about smoking pubs and gardens if you're banning smoking outright? Which is what's happening anyway. Yeah, I like the smoking ban in pubs and gardens. I just like, why not just let it phase out like the rest of the smoking ban we're doing? Like, why do we need to do that? I think that the state does enfranchise a lot of things, she said. No, the state needs to control more. You want to allow the public to control everything. That's not, you don't want the government to govern is essentially what you want to do. You want you want capitalism, you want marketing, you want private businesses to control everything, to make everything run for profit. That's not how to run a country. That's not how to run the UK. It's not how to run any nation. It won't work. Do we really need to ban smoking in pub gardens? Do we really need a football regulator? These things are micro on their own, but cumulative impact on everything that the state is doing, I think it's too much. A lot of these things are not public service. We keep creating more bureaucracy, more regulation, and yet the public service are not improving. Yeah, because you guys destroyed public service in 14 years of your political party. To continue, I think it's one of the things that we see as the party got wrong. We, the Conservatives, follow this model. This is what I call the Blairite sort of third way model, and maybe worked in 1997, but it does not work now. And yeah, it will. By the time this video comes out, it will close at 5 p.m. on Thursday, guys. So, yeah, it will. Yeah, so for some people, the result may be by the time you guys hear this. But either way, whether it's Kemi or Robert Jenrick. Both of them are nasty pieces of work here. And obviously the suggestion in particular on this story is obviously the fact that you're not going to have... The suggestion is that those who ran for the Tory leadership contest, those who are basically the same lot that were part of the cabinet in government, the Conservative government, are pretty much going to be, some of them going to be the same lot in the shadow cabinet. And it's just going to be like, that's generally how I feel. It just feels like, and it's really, really not good at all. I just don't like this idea at all. But, you know, they want to run with the same team. They want to make the same claims. They can try. But I really hope they don't get back into power. I really hope. I think it would be absolutely horrible for all of us, if I'm honest. But what do you guys think? What do you guys make of Kemi Badenoch suggesting that all the leadership candidates could get jobs in her shadow cabinet? How does that make you feel? Is it just a case of they just have this perception, in my view, that they haven't done anything wrong and they were just unlucky to have gone out? What do you guys honestly think about it? Let me know your thoughts and more in the comment section down below as we head into the final few days of this leadership contest. If you found this video informative, please hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. Share this across social media so others are notified of this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing because it really does help support the channel. If you want to go one step further and financially support me and the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms. And be sure to join me on any of my live streams on the homepage if you want to join us as well. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.